How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. My name is Diego, and today I'm going to be reviewing the action spy thriller Agent Game. It was directed by Grant S. Johnson and was released on April 8th, 2022. The story follows three agents as they extract a target and their backstories unfold. However, before I hop into my review, please take a second to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's really appreciated. If you didn't subscribe, that's okay. You're only crushing my hopes, my dreams, and my ambitions. Just kidding. This review will contain spoilers though, so continue at your own risk. Lastly, if there's something you want to see reviewed, leave a comment and we'll get to it. Thank you. We're hopping in 3, 2, 1. The film starts with Olsen, portrayed by Mel Gibson, frantically running around shooting at a car. The car escapes and he makes a call saying the cliche line, "We have a problem." Moving forward, we see several agents storm a building and detain a masked individual. The agents involved are Kavinsky, Miller, and Reese. They're taking instructions from an agent named Visser, but because they had no authority to operate, they immediately leave. 5 weeks earlier at a black site, we see agents Visser, Harris, and Bill have captured Omar, a man with ties to a terrorist organization. There are many time jumps in this film, but for the sake of this review, I'm going to gloss over them. After some interrogation, it's clear that they do not have the correct man. Harris and Bill are two experienced agents, and they believe someone is setting them up, so they discuss their options. They discover that the government is partnering with another terrorist organization to get rid of Al-Qaeda. Omar is a sacrifice to the terrorists as a sign of good faith. Unbeknownst to Harris and Bill, Visser works for Olsen and she's now tasked with killing them and Omar. She kills Omar, and after being detained by Bill and Harris, she's rescued by another team that guns down Bill. Thankfully, Harris escapes with footage of the recent events. Back in the present, Kavinsky, Miller, and Reese have extracted their target and are on a flight to meet with Visser. Tensions rise between them as they start sharing backstories. We see that they were all hired by Olsen and share similar backstories involving failed missions. This makes them easily expendable. While on the plane, Kavinsky continually gets messaged by an unknown number on his secure line. He tells Visser and she tries to turn Miller and Reese against him behind his back. This doesn't work and they eventually look at the message. It's a video file of Visser killing Omar and Bill. This spooks them and they unmask their target. It's Harris. He tells them Visser plans on killing all of them when they land, so they team up to escape. When they land, they meet with Visser in a warehouse. Olsen initiates Operation Clean Sweep and sends more agents to kill everyone, including Visser. We're then treated to a fairly long gunfight, cheesy one-liners, and cheesy explosions. Losing patience, Olsen calls in a drone strike and kills everyone on site, including all the agents he sent in. Several weeks later, we see Olsen has issued a press conference blaming Omar as the one responsible for the agent deaths. As he's walking down the street, he's handed a note saying they have the footage. We then see a repetition of the intro as he runs around frantically shooting at a van. After the van escapes, the film ends as he calls an ominous man playing piano in a dark room. I really like action movies, so it's really unfortunate that the plot in this one was really scattered. The movie had two plots that interwove throughout the film, which made it difficult to know which moments to care about. Additionally, the plot required a moderate amount of suspension of disbelief. I had a hard time pinpointing the themes in this movie, but my biggest takeaway is that the government does some shady things. Oftentimes, the government, specifically individuals in power, use others as chess pieces rather than as humans. Regarding the tone, the movie felt like it was trying too hard to be a serious film. A lot of the acting and scenes in the film felt very cheesy. As an example, when Reese dies, his final words are, "The devil's calling me home." Cheesy. Speaking of acting, the only performances I found to be good were from Dermot Mulroney, Jason Isaacs, and Barkhad Abdi as Agent Harris, Agent Bill, and Omar. All the other actors did okay at best. This includes Aidan Canto, Katie Cassidy, Riz Coiro, Annie Alonze, and Mel Gibson. The acting got the job done, but I wasn't even remotely close to impressed. As I stated earlier, the movie had a lot of time jumps. Even though these time jumps were nicely labeled, I felt they harmed the pace of the film. The constant jumps back and forth felt like they were only included to expand the length of the film. However, I guess when it comes to the length of the film, I was happy. It only ran for an hour and 30 minutes, which made it bearable to watch. Something that I felt harmed the pace of the film were the quick and sloppy cuts during action sequences. As an example, the gunfight at the end of the film feels disjointed and the action is hard to follow. To make things worse, the gunfight has an inconsistent setting between night and day. Looking back on the score and soundtrack, there wasn't anything too impressive. It was okay at best. There also wasn't anything significant about the dialogue outside of some one-liners. Even the cinematography was okay. Unfortunately, the only nice shots were taken in DC. The production design also didn't impress me. Again, as I stated earlier, the explosions seemed cheesy. I'm not sure if they were practical effects or CGI, but they didn't look good. Overall, I felt let down by this film. With big names like Mel Gibson, Katie Cassidy, and Jason Isaacs, I was expecting much more from the acting in this film. I was also expecting a lot more from the plot, direction, and pace. However, I thought the score, soundtrack, dialogue, cinematography, and production design did just enough right to make this movie okay. It's certainly not my favorite film, and I won't be watching it again, but I rated this movie a 4.6 out of 10. If you love action movies and can suspend your disbelief, I'd recommend this movie to you. Otherwise, I'd go watch a different movie. Thank you for listening to my review of Agent Game. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content and you hated it, you absolutely hated it, then still leave a like anyways out of pity for me. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. Also, if there's something you want reviewed, let me know and I'll get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Friends with Benefits. My name is Diego, and I'll see you next time.